This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. It's the second version of the same video. The first one was so rough, I felt like I had to do it again. But here's the idea. The way virus infects people starts with one person. And if the virus is such like flu, where it gets somewhere between 2 and 3 people, then you end up with something that looks like this. One person gets 3 people. And then this one gets 3 people infected. This is the flu. This one gets 3 people infected. And this one gets 3 people infected. That quickly becomes 1 in this group, 3 here, 9, and then this would be 81. So this is 1, 3, 9, and then 81. 81 becomes too much to draw. I'm going to cover that. Well, I guess I'll do it now. So right here, I've got this spreadsheet set up 1, 3, 9, 81. And then if it went another row, you'd have this very large number, 6,000. That's if one person on average infects 3 others. So the next one I'm going to do is 4. The reason I'm doing these 3 numbers is flu is reported to be slightly below 3. In other words, one person will typically infect 2 or 3 people. The average is somewhere between 2 or 3. So the high number that I've heard reported on coronavirus is that one person infected will infect as many as 5. But I've heard that number between 3 and 4. So I've decided to redo this video for 3, 4, and 5. In other words, 3 on the low end, 4 somewhere in the middle, and 5 the highest number I've read. So again, with coronavirus or an infection with a higher rate, this time I'm going to do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one gets 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this in the spreadsheet looks like this. 3 becomes 4, and now this recalculates. Look at that huge difference. In fact, I think I can go. I've got 65, at the 5th row, I've got 65,000 people contaminated just by getting the transmission rate up to 4 people for every 1 person. Now I'm going to hit the back button. That's with 4, and it's only 3. It's only 6,500. But it's 65,000 if that number gets up just 4. So now I'm going to do the third one. So what I was doing here is, this is 1, 4, and then this, I'm going to count them. 4 times 4 is 16, but I'm going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That number shows up right here. 1, 4, 16. 256 is too many to draw. Visually, it's not helpful. If I could draw 256 dots, it would not be helpful. But up to 16, I think it is helpful. So then if this is gone with the higher number I've read, which was the one in the video I did before this, that was 5. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this one gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 1, contaminates 5, contaminates this many here. So I could do the math here. My point is with the picture to simplify it, but I'm going to do the math and count. So I've got 5 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gets me 25. But I'm also going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So if I use a spreadsheet to do the more efficient way, this 4 gets changed to a 5. And now look at that number. So listeners, this is really a better illustration of what I was trying to do on my video prior to this. This is 1 contaminates 5, and by the time you get to the 5th row, you've got 390,000. I mean, that's, in addition to being a very high number, that sort of back calculates to say 5 is higher than what coronavirus is contaminating. Coronavirus is successfully being passed to another user. 5 is too high because we're not ending up with 390,000 for every 1. The number's got to be lower than that. So I did read 5 from a credible source, but these numbers are very fluid. So I'm going to change that to 4. Now we go down to 6,500. I think that's closer to what we're seeing in public data. And then this number can change to 3, not 43. Look at what 43. 43, I think that number's 11 million. 43 is a mistake. My mistake. So there we go, 6,500 if you only contaminate 3 from every 1. And the higher end is 390,000. So 66,000 becomes 390,000 just from contaminating 3 versus 5. So listeners, this really captures my point of this health crisis we're facing with COVID-19. This disease, in so many ways, is similar to the flu. The symptoms are kind of the same. The method of passing it from one person to another is the same. The symptoms, the way it's passed, both kill people. The difference is novel coronavirus. That means it's new. And flu is very not new. So we're kind of used to the effects of the flu, and now we're shocked by this effect of the coronavirus. In addition to that, this rate, even if you accept that 5 is too high, and you say it's something lower like 4, it's still killing 65. That's 10 times more people in that 5th row, in the 5th wave of contamination, just by going from 3 to 4. So this number may seem small, but its impact is extraordinarily large. Now, in addition to that, coronavirus, if you infect this many people, number one, you infect more people. If you go up to a contamination rate from 1 to contaminate 5 people, one sick person passes it on to 4 people. If you go up there, this number gets much larger. But the other killer of coronavirus is that COVID-19 is killing like 10 times more people than the flu. And from what I've read, the death is just uglier, more painful. This ventilator, I think the death from flu is not as bad. I haven't died from either, obviously, but when they describe the conditions of these people as they progress on a ventilator up to death, it just sounds like a horrible death. So it's a horrible, painful death, and it takes a while. It's not like a gun to the head. And in addition to that, more people of the total that are infected with flu, the total infected with coronavirus, more people die. In other words, its lethal rate is higher, and then it gets passed on more quickly. So just a tweaking of the resume of these two viruses, and suddenly coronavirus becomes the deadly killer, the epidemic, the pandemic that everyone has good reason to be afraid of. This has been Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, You would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Doody in a Google search for my site. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, or restful night's sleep. Ciao.